It's been a little bit over a year now since we completed this project and premiered it. It's surreal, to say the least. When reflecting on this project, we're trying to think about things like what we learned, what do we take away from it, what would we have done differently, and honestly, I don't regret anything that we did.
So obviously, Isabelle and I were very passionate about our project and emotionally attached too, as well. After 3 all-nighters digging into editing, you kind of have to be.
And a whole year's worth of effort.
That's true.
Almost a year and a half.
It's true. It was the biggest undertaking of our entire lives at the time. So far. I said at the time. So when we finally got to show it to people, we didn't know how people would react to it.
I just remember looking around and I couldn't even watch the documentary really. I was just looking at everybody else like, did they think that was funny? Are they laughing? Are they emotional? Are they into it? Or are they just kind of like, oh, this is kind of bad? I was just so nervous, my mind going on overdrive.
As the film started rolling and as we were watching the crowd, we would see smiles here and there. We hear little breaks of laughter. So to see the crowd connect with the story that we had created was really rewarding.
By the end of each showing, we received standing ovations. And it wasn't just a quick little standing ovation, just a little polite one. Everybody paused, and I just remember this moment of silence before, just with people processing, they weren't sure what they just watched, it kind of felt like. Because I think a lot of people thought, oh, this is a student project, this isn't going to be the most high quality, and it isn't. It isn't the highest quality film you'll ever see. I do think that it surpassed a lot of people's expectations. And that was just made me feel very proud, wow, we did that. I couldn't have imagined the impact that this documentary would have left on the community of Lutheran South. Our documentary is the last remaining footage of that gym. Now they're completely remodeling the old building that we shot in.
The entire entryway is completely under construction now, and so the documentary has shots of the parking lot right outside the main doors, and that is completely obliterated now with the new extension they're building.
And so that ended up kind of making our documentary, accidentally, not intentionally at all, this time capsule. This kind of gift that we left for Lutheran South. It's really the last existing video evidence of what it feels like to walk in that building.
So I don't think you realize how much footage we actually took throughout the documentary process. And by the end, I believe we accumulated about 500 gigabytes of footage. And out of those 500 gigabytes, I think only 15% of everything that we captured went into the actual documentary. And so to pick that 15% that is the absolute best that could capture the story we want to tell accurately was hard.
Tall task.
Yeah. And also, at the end of the season, we had over 100 interviews that we have conducted, some ranging from 10 minutes all the way to an hour. Obviously, we graduated, and both of us, we parted ways. We're going to different colleges now, but we're both majoring in essentially the same thing, video production. However, we're each kind of setting our eyes on a different route in video production.
I'm actually at Murray State University now. Go Racers, shoes up. Right now I'm not really comfortable saying exactly what route I'm going, but I am definitely very, very much interested and still passionate about storytelling. I didn't really get the opportunity to do as much production work as Bella did during this documentary. I did a lot, but not nearly as much, I would say. I think she kind of carried in that route. And with that, I think that kind of hurt my confidence a little bit of my ability to be part of that process. But school so far has really given me that opportunity to, go learn. And so I'm actually shooting more basketball all the time, every week. So I got to do that for Racer Athletics and go record Arch Madness here in St. Louis, be in the Enterprise Center on the floor. And then also outside of that, I've gotten to learn other things like graphic design and advertising. And so that's just really cool and just, I think, full circle from this project.
And I'm at College of the Ozarks, hard work you, down in Branson, pop out. We make our own ice cream, it's great. Anyway, I'm strongly going down the route of specifically camera operating and editing, and I obviously love the storytelling aspect as well. I can see myself going into documentary making, and especially documentary making that allows me to travel. That's been a passion of mine since I was very, very young, to travel around the world. So if I can capture footage for companies about sports or nature or something along those lines, that'd be the dream come true.
From the very beginning, when we started this independent study, we had this idea to post this documentary on a channel called Luso Productions, which is here.
Subscribe.
And we did this intentionally. We didn't want to call it Belle and Isabelle Productions, Student Productions. We didn't want to post it on our individual channels. We wanted to give it a place where it could be affiliated with Lutheran South, in hopes that future Lancers, or even Lancers now, that are interested in pursuing film, pursuing documentary work, journalism, media, anything in that realm or beyond, to create their own content. One of the things that we started the documentary for was to really challenge ourselves and do something bigger. And so we hope that Luso Productions can kind of be that place. This is us just passing that torch along and hoping and praying that someone, takes it and starts something of their own, because we would love to see some more Luso Productions. As you saw at the end of our documentary, at the beginning of the credits, we decided to dedicate our documentary to Quentin Davis, Q, as we call them. Like I said earlier, we created this documentary and it actually ended up being a time capsule for the building, but it also ended up showing and highlighting how awesome and amazing of a person Q is and how he left such a positive impact on all of us. This documentary obviously means a lot to us, but more than that, I think it holds a special place in the hearts of a lot of people, not just this team that it was about, but it can be relatable to a lot of people. I mean, even during our showings, Bo and I made a grown man cry.
We did, actually. Check that off the bucket list.
Yeah, grown adults are crying watching this documentary, and I think, that says more than anything that I could ever say about it. That emotional connection that it left people with. I mean, it really does, evidently, makes people feel like they're there and brings people back to those days of high school, makes them remember and reminisce on their days of being a part of a basketball team. Those buddies, it's just not really anything like that when you get older, and so that's really cool. And then, with Quentin passing unexpectedly, it really is that last little bit of a picture of what he was like and his impact on all of us, and you can't go back in time and go capture that. You can't go back in time and have an interview with him. So it truly is a time capsule that will be out there forever, hopefully, that people can go back and relive those days and remember the people that touched all of our hearts.